Greetings, gents, gals, and non-binary pals, and welcome once again to the D20 show. I am your host, Viktor D20, the wizard of this cursed abode. Once again today I bring to you a creature from the D&D past, last seen in the monstrous manual, a monstrous compendium was it? Oh well, who can tell? But first appeared as a monster in AC9, the creature catalogue, where it firmly set itself into the Mystara setting's foundations as a dangerous desert-dwelling threat. So, welcome, and today we shall cover the Desert Scourge, known as the Sis'thik. Come with me and make sure to like and subscribe if you find the content enjoyable. So, let us start with what the creature catalogue itself tells us of this Desert Scourge. The Sis'thik, or Desert Scourges, are nomadic lizard-like humanoids who live in burning deserts. They have self-sealing nostrils and transparent membranous eye screens which allow them to function in the fiercest of sandstorms. Their skin is thick and leathery, reducing water loss to a minimum, and giving them armor class 5, armor class 15 in modern terms, without a shield, AC 4 with shield. Actually, that would be 17 AC in modern terms. A Sis'thik can travel long distances and even fight in the midday sun with a daily water intake of less than a quarter of the amount a human would need. The female Sis'thiks control the tribe and do all the fighting. The males, who tend to be slow and stupid, watch the tribe's animals, see below, and when they are not working, spend their time basking in the sun. A blissful existence, I suppose. Sis'thiks are a proud warrior race who fear no one and nothing. They consider the desert to be their property, and all who cross it or live in it do so only because the Sis'thik's goodwill allows. Caravans are allowed to cross the desert only if they do not offend against the Sis'thik's custom. In practical terms, this means caravan leaders must debase themselves before the Sis'thiks while heaping presents upon the creatures. Metal goods, gems, and fine wines are most favored by the Sis'thiks, and it is a wise caravaneer who lays an ample amount of these supplies for any crossing of Sis'thik lands. The Sis'thiks have domesticated the fierce desert-dwelling zitars, which are covered on page 81 of the creature catalogue, which are bred as mounts. 2 Sis'thik warriors are closely attached to each zitar, and are responsible for its well-being and training. Both Sis'thiks ride the creature. One controls the action of the zitar and attacks with a long spear, while the other attacks with either a short bow or a long spear. When ridden by Sis'thiks, a zitar's morale increases to 10. Kind of irrelevant in modern terms, but you know, a cool little factoid. But the Sis'thiks are unable to make the zitar use its breath weapon at will, so there is only a 33% chance, 1 to 2 on a d6, that it will breathe. Now, of course, you can flavor that how you wish, I suppose. Occasionally, Sis'thik tribes work in conjunction with blue dragons to attack settlements near to their deserts. Sis'thiks riding the dragon sweep over the walls of the settlement, and mounted Sis'thiks attack and storm the gates. Fortunately, these alliances are very rare and last only long enough to satisfy both the dragon's greed for treasure and the Sis'thik's love of battle. Female Sis'thiks are very strong and inflict an extra 2 points of damage with any weapon they use. When not mounted, they use scimitars, as well as biting their opponents. They are led by a queen with 8 hit dice who does 3 additional damage, who has 2d4 4 hit dice bodyguards with her at all times. Each tribe also has 1d4 shamans of levels 1 to 8 who care for the spiritual needs of the tribe. Sis'thiks are unaffected by normal fires and take only minimum damage from magical fires. So, they certainly sound like interesting creatures. Their lore is fairly interesting and certainly, well, it's certainly something. So, how can we interpret this into 5e? Well, it's actually a lot simpler than you think, but I'm just building up for the hell of it. Let's get to it. So, here we have the first of the Desert Scourges numbers, the Sis'thik warrior. They are a medium lizard folk, neutral in alignment. I feel like I should have made them neutral evil, considering that their intent is usually malicious, I believe. Well, I mean, then again, lizard folk have always been kind of neutral, so yeah, they still have the standard hold breath ability, sand traversal. For their actions, they can bite, they can cut you with a scimitar, or they can stab you with a spear. In addition, they also have fire resistance, and aside from that, they are fairly standard. Why do they have a swimming speed and not a burrowing speed? I'm gonna have to fix that later, I suppose. Or just imagine that it says burrowing speed right there, instead of a swimming speed. Well, anyway, that's the warrior. Fairly standard affair. Looks good to me. Next up we have the big mama herself, the Sis'thik Queen. 60 hit points, again, swimming speed instead of a burrowing speed, I'm an idiot. Proficient in strength and constitution saving throws. Still fire resistant. A CR5, which I was surprised that the CR calculator told me to make it to CR5. Then again, I guess the calculator knows best or whatever. Still holds breath. Still has the whole sand traversal thing where the where sandstorms don't bother them. So should have explained that one. That was a bit of an addition of my own. Pretty neat. In addition, she has Blood Frenzy. The Sis'thik Queen has advantage on melee attack rolls against any creature that doesn't have all of its hit points. Now, this I of course got from the Sahwagin, so Sahugin? Sahwagin. Not again. She also has multi-attack. She makes 2 attacks, one with her bite and one with her scimitar. And yeah, a fairly fearsome opponent. I would certainly say so myself anyway. She is definitely the queen of the tribe. I definitely enjoy this one. Could be a pretty good early level boss fight. Do keep in mind she does also have those 2d4 bodyguards with her at all times, so you know that's going to add a whole new level of danger. Now, finishing up the Sis'thik lineup, we have the Shaman. 5d8 hit dice, of course. A 5th level cleric, if you would. Still has hold breath and sand traversal. Is proficient with wisdom saving throws, as well as has expertise in religion checks. Still the same fire resistance. These are CR3. They would normally be CR1, except I reasoned that spellcasting should increase the CR by at least 2 nubs, and that's what I did. In addition, they can still bite and scimitar the hell out of their opponents, and you know, they are the spiritual leaders of the Sis'thik society. So, very powerful, very beautiful. That's basically all I have to say about these gals, because I'm still pretty sure that females are also shamans. So, yeah, take of that what you will, and make, not just take, make. I mean, So, I actually got a little interested about the whole Zitar or Zytar, or however the hell you pronounce that, and decided to take a look at them. And here is what the creature catalog says about them. A Zytar, or Zitar, is a large 8-foot-long lizard-like creature. Its hide is predominantly yellow with red and orange mottling along its back. Zytars have 6 legs and long 2-filled jaws. They live in hot deserts and can survive for weeks without water, so fairly resistant, fairly tough. Zitars are carnivorous creatures who normally hunt in packs. Human or other settlements on the fringes of deserts are often attacked by hunting Zitars, as are any caravans unlucky enough to run into them. They are usually, or there are rather, usually no survivors from Zitar attacks. Zitars attack with either their strong jaws or by their breath weapon. They can breathe a cone of fire 30 feet long and 10 feet wide at its widest point. They always attack by breathing fire first and then closing to use their jaws in melee. Once in melee, there is a 1 to 2 chance on a d6 that a Zitar will breathe instead of biting its opponent. Zitars are unaffected by normal fires and always make their saving throws against magical fires. So, basically, for these guys, just use a giant lizard stat block and give them a 30-foot breath weapon and have it deal like something like, I don't know, like have it deal like something like 3d6 fire damage, and yeah, basically that's about the extent of what you should do with it. And also give it fire resistance, of course. I'm pretty sure I mentioned that, but if I didn't, well, there I go, I just mentioned it. So yeah, the Zitars, or Zitars, are fairly interesting creatures, and very powerful, very beautiful. So, I mentioned that the Sis'thik were rooted in Mystara, and that is extremely true, even to this day. You see, the Sis'thik have a presence in the known world and beyond, and especially appearing as enemies in the Emirates of Yolarum, you know, that giant desert between Italy and Sweden, that one? Yeah, it's... Weirdness aside, they are a staple enemy there, and the Desert Warriors have a fun time fighting the Desert Scourges whenever they appear. In addition, there are rumored to be, at the very least, Sis'thik tribes living in the Ariptian Desert on the continent of Davania. And I believe there may be Sis'thiks in the burning sands of Sind, just waiting to strike at any caravans that cross the burning plains. Well, I say burning plains, but was it plains of fire, actually? Oh well, who knows. But yeah, they are, the Sis'thiks are an interesting creature, and, you know, they definitely deserve their, reputation. Well, I mean, their reputation among Mystara fans, anyway. And yeah, now you can also integrate them into your D&D games if you wish. You can throw them in the Faerun, throw them in the Greyhawk. Actually, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't throw them in the Greyhawk. That's unnecessary. And maybe keep them out of Faerun too. I mean, we kind of need to have something unique going for ourselves. Wizards of the Coast don't fucking touch these guys. Anyway, but yeah, that's about the conclusions that we can draw, huh? And with that, it's time to once again bid farewells. I thank you for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please feel free to leave a like, maybe comment and subscribe. The more this channel grows, the more I can start putting actual effort into it. Also, I have been putting videos out at a rapid pace and I think I'm quite scared now. Look forward to the first teaser video of Haldamar's handy Handbook of Heroism later this week, when we cover the Held and Freeholds chapter of it. Well, I mean, I call it a chapter, but it's only one part of a whole Gazetteer chapter. We're going over these nations one by freaking one, or regions in certain cases, like the Serpent Peninsula, Miyoshima, you know, places like that. But I digress. Thank you for watching, and be sure to return once again for another insightful adventure here on Viktor D20's RPG channel. Okay, seriously, I need to stop doing the evil laugh. I cannot. My apologies.